Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Kelowna Real Estate Weekly, where we're breaking down the real estate market every week to see which way it's trending. So if you as a home buyer or as a home seller can make educated decisions, real facts, real information. I show you the formula, everything we're looking at in the real estate market. And we're also going to go through and take a look at 3 different headlines in the real estate market that is maybe from Kelowna, Canada, or all over the world that is going to impact the housing market right now in Kelowna. But let's just dive right in because we got a lot to unpack this week because there is a huge myth out there right now. And I think there's a misconception that the real estate market is completely dead. But that is furthest thing from the truth. Because we're actually, if you've been watching this and actually go back to an old episode, when I posted last week or even the week before, we're averaging about 80 sales a week. And let's dive in and let's see where this week is at because things are changing. Things seem to be heating up. Normally, this is a slow time period. We're in July, summer holidays, that sort of thing. But with the real estate market maybe having a slower spring than normal, we're starting to see some of that uptick coming. So we're seeing it increase on the weekly basis. So let's just dive right in. But before we do, it's Mark Coons here with Selling Kelowna Real Estate Group. And if you're looking at buy, sell, invest, that's why I'm doing these videos in the Okanagan. Please give me a call, shoot me a text message. I'm going to make you educated. I'm obviously going to be biased in it. And real estate, I think, is a great avenue to go. People are going to be buying and selling homes regardless of the marketplace. But we're going to follow, and we're going to follow the trend and dictate where it is. Are we going up? This is where we're going to indicate it. But looking at it, let's go. We are going to start this week with the hot sheet. So when you're looking at it, this is what we're going to start every time. So 299 new listings, price decreases 190, which has been common, roughly been around the same last week. But where we're seeing a big change here is we're seeing an increase in about 30 to 40 sales in the last week. So this is all in the last 7-day period. So 112 sales, 131 canceled, and 30 expires. But the big thing that's been changing on the weekly basis, everything else is pretty stagnant. It's been around there for a little bit. And as we look at the market, this is where it's really interesting. And this is where there's a myth in the marketplace that the market is dead. Because if we want to look at it in this right-hand column there, the DOM, days on market, you can see how everything is pretty low. I mean, in the first 25 on the listing, everything that had sold was below 30 days on market. So let's go take a look at the entire list here. We can just work our way through it. But the days on market is a good indicator to see how consistent the market is. And this is actually a strong case that there is, demand for certain types of homes. And if you might have a home that might have some demand to it, right? So we're going through it and not a whole lot. I mean, we're about halfway through the list and we got one in 47 days, one at 50 days. But other than that, everything's right around 30 days. We're getting up there a little bit with some more days on market, but that is a myth in the market right now that it is just completely dead. And we'll break it down too by price point. So seeing what's selling, top end, bottom end, everything in between. The lowest price sale was in Water Street, just a fractional sale, $70,000, 2 fractional sales. So there's a lot of recreational properties selling even still. This was probably a week, maybe 2 weeks on for the $130,000. The cheapest one was a manufactured home on Casorso, and the apartments at Big White, $229, $240 for a place on Boucherie Road, Upton Court, $250,000. So that's kind of bottom of the barrel. What you're getting into the market at as you work through it. Now looking at the opposite, flipping everything. We didn't have quite the high sales as we did last week. We had something in the 4.5 million. Definitely some confidence there. We had a few in that 1.8 range and 1.7, 1.5. So there's a lot of activity here. kind of this is a price point that's been relatively slow for the last year. So it's good to see some of these turnovers here on it, and relatively shorter days on market. Like this one on Lakeshore Road, Upper Mission, 13 days on market for 1.877. Let's just dive right into this one because this one looks interesting. 13 days, right? $10,000 less than ask price. So a beautiful home. Looking at it, this is where the market will dictate the market. So if you are a home seller, you've been thinking about selling in the last year, if you're thinking about selling next year, this is where it's a really good idea just to see. We actually did sell 2 properties in the last month off market. So there's lots of opportunities even selling off market. They don't necessarily have to hit the market. That's the thing. And there's lots of properties selling off market. You think and you look at pre-sale condos. That's one issue where we see a lot of the sales sell off market, not necessarily captured in the real estate sales. But for the most part, because of the apartments and the pre-sales being relatively slow, it's not as big of impact in this market. But homes are still selling. We saw a townhome in a gated community, and we also sold another townhome. So there is a lot of different opportunities right now. So let's break it down. If you do have a property that you are maybe thinking about selling, maybe there is a market for it. If you're a buyer, it doesn't hurt to ask. Reach out, give me a call, shoot me a text message. I'd love to hear what you're looking for. And because there's some ways we can sometimes move it. And I like to door knock, and I will door knock for you on your behalf. And we're now getting into the article segment where we're breaking down 3 different articles and seeing what implications it is in the marketplace. This one, normally I like to focus on sooner, more recent ones, but this is the top 10 predictions for tech in 2025. This is a McLean's article right from the website, and this was as of December 30th, 2024. All right, so why I'm bringing this up, it'll make sense in a minute, but breaking it down for Canada, and this is breaking down for the tech industry. I'm going to scroll all the way down. Number 5 here is the Okanagan will experience a tech boom. These are predictions, what McLean's is predicting for Kelowna. And this is one of the standpoints why I also believe there's a lot of confidence right now in Kelowna's real estate market is BC's Okanagan is better known for its wineries than websites. But it's changing in 2025. The world has now changed. And as we're getting into the tech sector, Kelowna is becoming the tech hub for Canada. So let's look at it. 787 companies quintupled the economic impact over the past decade. Quintupled it, and generating $5 billion in revenue. And nearly half of 32,000 tech workers in the region are under 35. So this is where we're seeing a shift. Kelowna used to only be retirees, but now we're shifting it down, and we're starting to see a big concentrated portion be under 35. And especially with AI and everything else happening, this is also going to get younger and younger. So small cities like Kelowna in particular are going to benefit from this. So stay tuned. If you're in the tech industry, there is a lot of tech entrepreneurs here. Give me a call, shoot me a text message. We have some connections with quite a few, Dan Martell being one of them. And he does a weekly hike, Tuesdays, the Founders Hike. So follow me on Instagram. You can see my posts on the hikes that I attend it every week. And there's multiple entrepreneurs on that hike. So that is definitely a good, if you're in the region, get out. Let's come and visit. Let's network on Tuesdays, 6:30, Knox Mountain. There's your call out. Can't say I didn't invite you because I just did. Let's meet in person on a hike, 6:30 in the morning, Tuesdays. Be there at 6:25, and we'll go for a hike. Knox Mountain. Next one is right from BC REA, and it's indicating from July 14th, the most regions in British Columbia have seen stronger sales in June. We reported on the weekly basis that actually sales in the Okanagan were actually down kind of on the week-to-week basis. That happened to coincide a little bit with the 12-day war. But overall, good signs across British Columbia, year-over-year change. So this is happening over 2024 ups, year-over-year. So if not the greatest comparison, take this all with a grain of salt because it depends on what you're comparing it with. I mean, the Okanagan is right around, 5%, 6% over what it was last year. And total sales volume was 6.8 billion. So keep in mind too, that the reduction in dollar volume is also impacting the property transfer tax. And I just say this in light of, provinces, and they're having a shortfall now of some property transfer tax and tax money they are used to. So what are they going to do? I hope they don't increase taxes on other sectors information, but as with the property transfer tax and sale blower, we might see some other taxes increase in British Columbia. So just something to watch for it. I don't know if I have any ideas on it, but when you're looking at around the province, this is really what it's looking at. The average price point in the Okanagan is 763,000, up 0.6. So prices are increasing. You look at Greater Vancouver, that's a tough market right now, down 5.7. Chilliwack's up 3.1. Kamloops up 1. Kelowna region, this has been some surprise. I think it's taken a lot of people by surprise. Has to do with the region, but also the price point people are getting into it at, but 13% increase on it. When you look at the total unit sales, total unit sales up 6.8% in the Okanagan here. So when you're looking at it, the Great Fraser Valley and the Greater Vancouver, we're seeing huge amount of drops in the total unit sales. But the one thing to factor in with inflation, everything happening, we've only seen one region with a price decrease on the island for the average price point. So not sure how it's factoring in for the average price point coming down 4.2%. I guess we did see Greater Vancouver. My apologies, Greater Vancouver down 5.7. So it's averaging out at 954,000 in British Columbia, down 4.2% total. Something to keep in mind as you're doing it, but we're not seeing prices drop. So home buyers, this is where your thing is. So home buyers, I'm just going to level with you real quick right now. We haven't seen home prices come down, and take this all with a grain of salt, right? I don't know what prices are going to do. I just want to level with you. And what we're seeing in the real estate market is we're probably not going to see interest rates come down potentially in 2025 anymore. There might be a slight decrease. So if you're looking for the best time to buy and you're looking to get in the market in the next, say, 6 months before 2026, I would highly suggest taking advantage of this high motivation, this situation right now with home sellers. When you're looking at the real estate market, you might be able to get a better price point today than what you will be getting in 6 months or next spring. Keep that in mind. It's not always it's not always the interest rate and what you're getting. There's a lot of good deals to be had. And get out there, try and make some deals happen. If it doesn't work out and the pricing doesn't make sense, then leave it in no focus and then just leave it. There's no pressure. But focus, try and make some offers. And if you're in the Okanagan, give me a call. I'd be happy to direct you through it. There's lots of opportunities out there. And as you saw, the days on market, good properties are selling quick, and some things are selling off market. I got 2 of them off market. So there's lots happening. So reach out, get into touch. But we're not seeing home prices drop. This is what I just want to level with you. Obviously, I'm going to be a little bit biased, but I'm showing you stats, showing you numbers that are showcasing that we haven't seen home prices come down from what they were last year. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of volatility in the marketplace, especially through Canada, Eastern Canada, tariffs, a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace. So it's really tough market right now to predict. You can't predict anything, but just looking by the numbers and the confidence in the marketplace. I know what Kelowna is bringing. That's why, looking at the tech industry, there's lots of money coming into that and bringing it into the Okanagan. Based on the lifestyle, I feel. So that is what's going to continue to drive that Kelowna's market here. But as we look at Canada now, let's just break it down. This is from June, but sales rose month to month. in June of 2025, 2.8%. So we're starting to see an increase in sales in June. And when we look at the total number, the moving average, we're still below the moving average, but still doing okay. New supply had declined 2.9%. So we saw an increase in sales, but also saw a decrease in new supply. And so something to keep watch. We're starting to see some homes maybe come off the market and go from there. The home price, maybe it's just people can't get this homes the price they wanted on it, right? But we are seeing the home price index remaining unchanged, negative 0.2% month over month, and was down 3.7 over year basis. So this is saying in Canada, that 3.7% drop in the average home price index here. And so let's look at what that home price index has done. Average price point throughout Canada peaked in 2020, 2022, and then dropped heading into 2023. So we are still higher when we were in 2021, are pretty close there to 2021. Obviously higher than what we were in 2020. When you're looking at these stats here, just things you need to look at. And this is right on CREA, Canadian Real Estate Association website, CREA.ca. You take a look at these for yourselves. But July 15th, they just released this. And obviously, I'm going to be a little bit biased. I'm a real estate agent in the closed real estate market and just looking at the stats, though. And that's why I want to provide you with all this information there. So you're making educated decisions on whether you're buying, selling, investing, whatever you're doing in the real estate market. That's what I'm here. So pick up that phone, give me a call, shoot me a text message. If there's anything I can do for you, if you've got a property in mind, if you're looking for something, you are selling something, just reach out, give me a call. Let's start the process. And I have a process I can put you to. Hey everybody, it's Mark.